It's Saturday, October 11th, New York City. We're supposed to be preparing for a storm. The utility company I just read an email and it's asking us to prepare. It's supposed to be a lot of wind and a lot of rain. But anyway, so again, Miss Edie's Kitchen. I cooked salmon earlier with lentil beans with onions, seasoning, olive oil. Slice and dice half of a zucchini, and I used a vegan seasoning that comes in a jar, and you have to keep it in the refrigerator. It was really, really delicious. Normally, I put too much water in my lentils and they just really turn into like mashed potatoes. I still eat it because it's delicious, but this time it really came out good. So I was very happy. Like the little beans were still whole but cooked all the way through. So I was happy about that. So yeah, so I was stating earlier before I abruptly had to end it. I was stating earlier, I was wondering what I should talk about, right? So October's awareness is for breast cancer, domestic violence, and also sleep safe for children. It's also a lot of other awareness, but breast cancer and domestic violence are like the top ones. So yesterday I talked about if you're having any issues or if you're in crisis for domestic violence, to please call the hotline 988, which is available 24 hours, 7 days a week. So with that being said, I was wondering what would I talk about. So I was reading this book, You Deserve to Be Rich by Rashad Bilal and Todd and Troy Millings. And they are the CEOs of Earn Your Leisure, which was created during the pandemic to speak to individuals about financial awareness, right? And what you can do to prepare yourself for financial stability. And so with that being said, I read from chapter 4, and there is a financial therapist and coach. Her name is Barbara Hudson, and she has 4 wealth stages. Hi, hi. Oh wow, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. I'm surprised you're on YouTube for your birthday, but I'm glad that you are. Happy birthday. I am Miss Edie's Kitchen. I'm in New York City. What city are you from? And how are you celebrating your birthday today? Hi, Melissa. Hi, everyone. Oh, it's so nice to be on with people on a Saturday night. So please please share, and where are you joining from? I'm in New York City, and we're preparing for a storm. And one of our utility companies, Con Edison, sent emails out asking us to prepare for tomorrow because the storm is supposed to be really bad. It may be flooding. I already did. I went to Disneyland. Good for you. I did that one year. My cousins and we went to Disneyland. Good for you. That's nice. Did you enjoy it? And what did you do? What did you eat? I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I hope you enjoyed your birthday. And I don't know if you celebrated it by yourself or with friends and family, but I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I hope everyone is enjoying their Saturday. So I am Miss Edie's Kitchen. Yes, I ate popcorn. Okay, good for you. I thought you maybe would say that turkey drumstick, but I love popcorn as well. Popcorn is delicious. So Miss Edie's Kitchen, and I was stating that earlier, I sauteed a salmon steak and I made lentil beans with onions, peppers, seasoning, olive oil, and I diced half of a zucchini, and that's what I ate today. And I've been drinking a lot of water, and in my water, I have added soursop leaves, star anise, lemon slices, and cinnamon sticks. So I've been drinking that. So yes. And I was sharing that I read this book today, chapter 4, You Deserve to Be Rich. It's a New York Times bestseller, and it's written by Rashad Bilal and Troy Millings, and they are the CEOs of Earn Your Leisure. They have a podcast and they have followers. I am an Earn Your Leisure University earner. I pay my annual fee, and so I'm an earner. And they have classes on real estate, stocks, options, how to become financially responsible. And so in chapter 4, there is a discussion on the 4 wealth stages, and it's discussed by Barbara Hudson, who is a financial therapist and coach. And so one of the wealth stages is survival. So that's oh, you have it? Do you like it? I see the little emoji. I don't know if that's a happy emoji or I don't know. So hi Kelly. I like Earn Your Leisure because I learned a lot during the pandemic, and it was information that I felt was necessary. Okay, you said kind of. Okay. I thought it was necessary because sometimes the other books I feel like go over your head. This one gives like case examples of individuals and what they're doing in their life. So maybe, that's easier for someone else to read. So survival is one of the wealth stages where a person is living from paycheck to paycheck. Their bills are never paid on time, never paid in full. And they're always like, trying to survive, like trying to make it. And then the next one is stability. They have a steady income, they have healthy credit, they're able to pay all their bills on time and in full. Because I know some people who cannot pay the bills on time. So if it's like a credit card bill, they're paying like the minimum amount, and then if it has high interest rates, you're never going to win. And then the other stage is wealth, right? And so when you think of wealth, you could think of the Rockefellers or somebody current. You could Meta owner Zuckerberg or what's the Tesla guy or Amazon's guy. And then the last one is affluence. And so those people have wealth and they can leverage, how they want to live beyond money, right? I have to go to bed. Okay, William. Well, it was great for you to join, and I hope you enjoyed your birthday, and happy birthday. Thank you for joining. So yes, today I also had a discussion with my cousin, and then my brother called, and so I merged the call, and we had a three-way call, and it was just nice to be on the phone with family and to laugh. Like we really laughed like little children. I'm 57 years old, so we laughed and we had fun and we reminisce about being younger and the decisions we've made in life. And we also talked about God. And so my cousin mentioned Matthew 25, where it is the story of the parables of the talents, right? How God gives one guy, well, not guy, but I don't even know how they refer it, but one person gets 5 talents, the other one I think gets 2, and then one gets 1, and that guy, he buries his. The guy who gets the 5, he increases his, and so he's made like the leader. So I thought that was what like confirmation, because this morning when I got up, I believe in God, and God told me to turn to Matthew 25. And then my cousin, she quoted Matthew 25, and I said to her, wow, my Bible is on that page. That's what I read today. Hi, Rosalind Sorto. Rosalind, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Hi. Please like and share. This is Miss Edie's Kitchen, and I'm just talking about some life lessons. So today I was on the phone with my family, and we laughed, and we, had a good time. Hi, Terry Young. Thank you for joining. I'm trying to build my community. So I said today is we have 81 days left in 2025. My accountability partner has challenged me to go on live every day. So I said I would go on live every day until December 31st. I'm trying to build my community and I'm very inconsistent. I procrastinate. Oh, let me say this in a positive. Hi again. I want to say I used to procrastinate and I used to be inconsistent, right? Because our words have power. And so if we speak negativity, that gives an option of negative reactions. And I don't want to create that type of scenario. I want to say everything in the positive. Now, do you experience adversity? Do you have challenges? Yes. But I want to say everything in the positive. So if I do have to deal with a valley type situation, it's always going to be with me smiling, right? And just trying to make my way through, and then also practicing emotional regulation, right? I may not like that tomorrow it's going to be a rainstorm, but I'm still going to be happy and enjoy my day. Yesterday, I was standing in line for a prescription. This is Terry Young, that I couldn't get filled. Here's the rest of the story. Touched by an angel is what I'm saying. Well, God bless you. Good for you that you were touched by an angel. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Yes, I like those type of stories. So I feel like I've been touched by angels. She overheard that I couldn't pay for my prescription, and then when she left, they paid for my prescription, and I swear I turned around, she was gone, and thank God. Oh, that is so powerful. Oh, that is wonderful because, with the furlough and the federal government shutdown, I was in a Zoom meeting, I think when no Thursday night, October 9th, and a few of the members of the Zoom, they said that they were on furlough, and matter of fact, it's a steno group, and so we're learning how to type on the on the steno machine. And so they were saying that well, the instructor, she asked us, why are you in the she asked us, where are we coming from, and then she asked, why are you in the group? And so the majority of people said that they were looking for a second income, but the ones who work for the federal government, they said they need an income. So yeah, that's so nice of you to share that story, because so I believe in God. I believe in a higher power, and so I know that I can't survive without God. So I it is nice to know that other people believe that there are angels, that there are kind people that will help you. I remember one time as a kid, my brother and I attended church, and I think my mom was like kind of sad because she didn't have money, and we went to church and they took up like an extra collection, and so we left church at the end of the sermon, and we made our way home, and then there was a knock on the door. Guess what? The extra um what's the word? I have menopause, and it just sometimes just takes my thought. um Oh my goodness. The collection basket. When they took up a second collection, guess who it was for? It was for my family. The church was knocking on the door. They brought the collection to us, so we were able to buy food. Okay, so Terry Young says, not only did they pay for my prescription, oh, but she gave me $20 and I tried to give it back to her, and she was gone. So that's the other thing I said. Thank you for sharing that. That's the other thing I said to my cousin the other day. And my cousin agreed. I am the type of person that is always sowing into others, that when someone tries to sow into me, I'm unwilling or I don't know how to receive it. And you know what? We have to allow people to bless us. And so I'm sure that you have sown into other people, and now it was your turn to be blessed. So someone paid it forward for you. And so, take it. And not that you're taking it because you're selfish. You needed it in that moment. So accept it and be grateful. Yeah, I understand that. Because many a times strangers have done it to me, and I kind of feel embarrassed. But then that's something about me, because why do I feel embarrassed? I should be willing to accept it because I've sown into others, right? And so when you sow into somebody, it may you may not receive the blessing from them. It's going to be from a total stranger, and that's all right. So wow, thank you for sharing that. I'm so glad I came on, even though it's only two of us, but I'm glad that I came on. It's nice to hear those type of stories, and I believe that every experience that we every lesson that we experience during our journey, it is supposed to happen so we can share it with someone, because people are suffering, people are sad, they're anxious, they're hi, Rosalind. Rosalind. People are experiencing different emotions, right? And so a story like that can make them feel happy and understand that there are good people in the world. And even though all the things that are going on, like the Diddy case or the immigration situation, the federal government lockdown, our attorney general in New York City has been indicted. There's so many things going on, but there's still humanity. People still care. So that's very important. So I'm very happy about that. Very, very happy. So I am so grateful. My three of one of my friends and two of my family members are having eye conditions, and so am I. Wow. Well, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray that this experience that you and your family members and a friend what you're going through, that your testimony is going to be a testimony of um of joy, and that whatever needs to be done, that your eyesight will be improved. My other half, his mother is going blind. Oh, wow, wow. Well, I'm going to pray for full recovery of eyesight, and I pray that that all is well with you and your family and friends. Still good on the phone. I have light sensitivities. Wow. You see, I was listening to Napoleon Hill on YouTube the other day, and he said, write down three things every day that you're grateful for, and your list will increase. So I always say to people, I'm grateful that God woke me up this morning, that I have eyesight, that I have eyes, that I can get out the bed, I can go to the bathroom myself, that I don't have to wear a diaper because my parents are in the nursing home. So I'm very grateful for everything I have. Believe that people are put in our pathway for a higher purpose. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, I believe that your destiny helpers and the villagers that God sends to you. Yes, I believe that. I really do. And sometimes, we may have, there are people who have family members who mistreat them, or they don't have family members. There are people who were adopted, and then they don't speak to those family members anymore, or they're just some people that are loners. And so God will send people to support you and love you. So I definitely know that. I'm an only girl. I have brothers, but I'm an only girl, and I'm the middle child. And so I say I have love sisters. So God has sent people who support me, and or my accountability partners, and will tell me when, hey, you should be doing something else, or try this out. So that's great. Yeah, I believe that people are put on your pathway for a higher purpose. Yes. And then I also believe that our testimonies have to be shared, because what we're experiencing, we may be strong enough to handle it, but somebody else is ready to give up. And oh, wow. Wow. Well, I hope it was a successful surgery, and I hope that his eyesight improves. Wow. Yeah, I'm grateful. I wear glasses, but I'm grateful that I have my eyesight. Matter of fact, my great grandfather, my maternal great grandfather, he was blind. I don't know, and he became blind. He wasn't always blind. You're very welcome. Man, I should ask my mother that. I should ask her, how did my grandfather become blind? Because he owned a farm. He grew his own produce, like he had chickens and different farm animals, and I think he also had pigs, hogs, because I remember my mother saying that they had to clean chitlins, the intestines of the hog, and she said she always hated that, so she would pretend that she was sick so she could go inside because she didn't want to do it. Yeah. So what are you doing this Saturday evening? Are you at home or are you out? And what city are you coming from? I'm in New York City and we're preparing for like a rainstorm, a bad rainstorm tomorrow. Not bad. We need rain. So, um a lot of rain tomorrow where there may be flooding and maybe strong winds. So they're telling us to prepare for that. So that's what's going on in New York City. And then last night Serena Williams and her husband, I think it's called Aflo New York City. They had track and field events at Randall's Island at the Icon Stadium. So I didn't attend, but it was actually live on TV, so I did watch, and it was great performances. And so they had the long jump, and matter of fact, on Thursday night they had the long jump actually in Times Square, so they actually showed some of that footage. So they had the long jump, they had the 100 meter, they had the 400 meter, and I think they had longer distances, and it was all females. It was really exciting. Yes, it was exciting. And then they had some of the former track and field stars there as well. And then Serena, instead of them getting like a plaque or an award, they all received a crown from Tiffany's. Okay. Prayers for your great. Yes, he's since passed. Yeah. Thank God. My mother was a minister. My dad was a preacher, gambler, don't miss, but thank God he believed in every word. Amen. So, we are perfectly imperfect, right? And so, depending on the traumas that we have experienced, um, sometimes we have other issues, like gambling or substance misuse, so many things, again, we are perfectly imperfect. Oh, great, great, great. Yeah, I have family members who love to gamble. I'm not judging. We don't judge, we listen. I don't like to go to the casino because I feel like I'm wasting my money. I would rather buy a pair of shoes or a pair of boots or an outfit. But yes, there are people who go to the casino. And in New York City, Jay-Z, Sean Carter, attempted to buy a casino for Times Square, but I guess the committee denied it. But there is a casino in Queens, I think it's called Resorts World, and Nas um, has a business deal, and his was approved. So I guess they're going to expand on the casino that's out there. Yeah. I've gone with my coworkers before, but the most I'll do is maybe play like a penny machine because I don't want to lose money. Yeah, I do not want to lose money. So, yes, we have 81 more days in the year of 2025. Is there any goal or desire that you want to achieve in the 81 days? My cousin and I are working on a project. Well, I'm working on a few projects that I would like to see come to fruition, um, I guess, by the end of 2025. Tucson. Okay. Is that in the Midwest? I believe that's in the Midwest. Let me, I'm going to look that up. Or maybe not. Oh, and the other thing that's going on in New York City, with the onset of fall, it gets darker early. And that's the part that I really don't like. Like, I love the sunshine, but I know when the season changes and, there are changes in your life that you must adhere to. So, okay, Arizona. Oh, it must be nice and warm there. Yesterday we had, in the morning, it was 40 degrees. I think the high was 60. Okay, do you like living in Arizona? And it says it's the capital of Arizona. I'm just looking on my iPad. Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, so my accountability partner said that she was watching a podcast and the host talked about creating your village and your online village. And in order to do so, try this experiment of going live. I think his was for the contest was like for 30 days or 60 days. So I said I'll do it for the rest of the year. And so earlier I was like, okay, I should have did it in the morning, and then the day progressed, and then, it was 8 o'clock. And I said, oh my goodness, let me get on here. So I like coming on. I want to get used to talking and sharing information and, um, interacting with people. And I want to build a community. That's what, yes, I would like to build a community. Yes, I would like to build a community. Yes, I thought one of my family members. Oh, wow. I'm praying for them. Yeah, fentanyl is very scary and dangerous. There was a case in the Bronx where a childcare provider, I think her significant other, he hid it in the house or it was somewhere underneath the child's bed, and the toddler died. Yeah, and I think either her or him, they got life. But can you imagine dropping your child off at the childcare provider and you go back and your child is deceased? That was very, very sad. And then we've had cases in the Northeast area, I guess all over the country, because substance misuse is problematic, where people went to a mall to meet a guy, and someone, laced the drugs and they didn't know that fentanyl was in it, and everybody who bought the drugs, they died. Yeah, they died. So it was sad. God will bring you through anything. My mom went through hurricanes. She went through in a little tiny trailer. Wow. Oh, wow. Yes, I was saying earlier, well, God bless your mom. I'm glad she's a survivor. So, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, at my job, I present every year on breast cancer. Well, every year I invite a speaker from the hospital who is the coordinator for breast cancer awareness, and she always starts her discussion by saying, I don't like to be here because, you know, I'm kind of like giving out information about gloom and doom. But then she said, I have to be here because I have to share, the updated information. Want to be like my dad, losing money. He won 99 times in a row, and that's not the only time. He could take 5 to 20 and bring it up to 2,000 and 1,000 and 1,000. So my daddy, in New York City, I don't know if this is in other states, but in New York City, they call it playing the numbers. So I think they said it's based on the horse betting. So a guy would come around with a yellow slip in the 70s and you would put the numbers on it. So my father, he would hit. Like, I remember one night, my mother and I was younger than 8 years old. My mother and we went to church, and my mother asked me, in black churches, they're going to bring the basket around several times for you to make a offering. And so the last time they came around, my mother asked me, should she put the money in or save it for us to get snacks? Oh, he's back. The birthday guy is back. And so I asked my mother to put it in, and then when we got to the train station, my father came and he hit the number and he gave us money. I like giving out food when I can, even if I don't have it. Food banks. I don't want food so bad. God blesses me and I bless others. That's the way my parents were. Okay, that's the way your parents raised you. Great, 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 great. So that's what I do too. So I used to live in another community in New York, and so I bake. So I bake red velvet, chocolate cake, pound cake. I make banana pudding, and so I also cook. So I would cook and serve the community, and then the community members, they would go to the food pantries and they'll bring food to me, and I cook it and I send it right back outside to them. And so they really love me and I love them too. So it was a tight knit community and we would take care of each other. Because there are some people who don't eat a hot meal. And so for me to have food and not share, that's not how I was raised. So my mother always said to always serve, to serve. And Warren Buffett said at his annual stockholders meeting this year, a young lady asked him, a student, she asked him, how can I be like you? And he said, read the books, because he said, my staff, they don't even read the books that I write. And he said, do more than your share. So I know some people and they say, "Oh, I'm not doing extra. I'm not allowing people to take advantage of me." But when you serve and you give, you're going to be blessed and you're going to receive more. So I love to share. The terminology gatekeeping, I don't like it and I want to eradicate it. I want to share information and resources. So throughout the year, I work for New York City Public Schools. So throughout the year, I attend events, resource fairs, back to school fairs, and I network and I get information and I share the information. So if I meet a community partner that provides substance misuse information, I share it to all my community partners. And then when I attend the monthly meetings at the different community organizations, I get that information and then I share with the new people I've met. So it's been a win-win. I love it. Like the other day, a community organizer asked me if I needed any sanitary napkins for the students, and I said yes. And he asked, "Well, how much can I send?" And can he send? And I said, "Please send as much as you want." He sent 4 boxes of individually packed sanitary napkins. And this is not talking, what's the word I want to use? This is not being disrespectful or speaking about something um, that is harsh. Having sanitary napkins is very important. I remember as a teenager in my neighborhood, there were young girls that whose parents didn't work, and every month they would beg, the older women in the neighborhood for sanitary napkins. And I remember some of them would talk about her, and I think that was like um what's the word I want to use? I don't even know what we're supposed to support each other, right? So if you're an adult and you have a job, how could you talk about a teenager and you know that her mom doesn't have the means to purchase the items? It's selfish, it's mean. Um I just didn't like it. It was embarrassing, right? Because she didn't have it. And then look, I was a teenager and my parents were struggling. I didn't have to give her. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's like in New York City years ago, kids would set the homeless on fire. Like, why would you do something like that? If, yeah, why would you hurt another person? But, we live in, I don't know. Well, the devil is busy. And his job is to steal, kill, and destroy. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to end it at 8, or no, at 9. But I could end it now because I've been on more than half an hour. But I want to thank you all for joining. And happy birthday to William. I hope you enjoy it. And Terry, thank you so much for sharing. Oh, Baptist and Pentecostal. Okay, I grew up in a Baptist church, and I love Pentecostal church because they clap and they sing and they praise God, and they don't care who's watching. So yes, it was a pleasure. I hope you enjoy your Saturday night. And I hope I see you again. So if you see me coming on live, please join me and share my live. Okay. Thank you so much and have a wonderful Saturday evening. Bye.